Well, American athletes made their mark in the Rio Olympics for a seventh straight day. On Friday, Team USA added more gold medals to their account with an especially dominant performance in swimming. And we want to get you caught up with all the excitement that you may have missed. Standing by for us in Rio is our own Ben Tracy. Ben, there has been so much excitement in the pool. My little kids are just learning to swim, so it's been wonderful to be able to watch the replays in the morning. Tell me about what the highlights are that you saw.
Yeah, Team USA just continuing to dominate it. It's like every time the Americans dive in that pool, they come out with medals. So I would say last night, the story of the night really belonged to Katie Ledecky. This is the 19-year-old phenom from Maryland. She now has 4 gold medals in this Olympics, 2 world records. But get this, she has now swept the 200, the 400, the 800, so all the long distance swims. That makes her the first woman to do that since the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City. So that is a big deal. The feel-good story of the night probably went to Anthony Irvin. This is a guy who's 35 years old, so the other end of the age spectrum in swimming. He won gold in the 50-meter freestyle last night. That's an event that he first won gold in the 2000 Sydney Olympics when he was just 19 years old. So this is a guy who has battled back after taking a decade off. He went to the London Olympics, didn't do particularly well, and now is here in Rio, and he's going to walk away with a gold medal. So a big night for U.S. swimmers. Of course, Michael Phelps was back in the pool, and he got out of the pool with a silver medal.
It was such a fun night to watch. And I want to ask you also about the U.S. fencing team. They made history last night. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, you know, fencing is probably not something we pay much attention to here in the Olympics, and we typically don't talk about it when the U.S. team gets a bronze medal. But what's significant about this is the U.S. men's team foil. They won the bronze in that fencing event. This is the first time that's happened for the U.S. in 84 years. So you have to go all the way back to the 30s before you can find a men's team that accomplished that. So a big deal in fencing last night for the Americans.
One game, Ben, that I haven't been able to go back and watch just yet, I find it very heartbreaking, is the defending champs for the U.S. women's soccer team. I love the women's soccer team. This was tough. What happened against Sweden?
Yeah, you and a whole lot of people are having a hard time watching the replays of that. This is a huge upset. I mean, there's been a lot of upsets at these Olympics. Think about the Williams sisters getting knocked out in the first round of the tennis doubles match. But this is probably right up there. I mean, everyone expected the U.S. women's team to be playing soccer here in Rio in the finals. They got knocked out before they even got to Rio. So they were knocked off by the Swedish team. 2 missed penalty kicks at the end of that game, which was just brutal to watch. And it did not sit well with the American team. Goalie Hope Solo came out and basically said that the Swedish team played like cowards. In response on Twitter, somebody from the Swedish team said, it's okay to play like a coward as long as you win. So there was some trash talk via social media after that one.
Wow, that tweet from the Swede may have said it all. I want to ask you about Saturday, though, jam-packed with more events. What are the big events that you'll be watching?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So we kind of start to shift from swimming to track and field. Track and field is off and running. Usain Bolt, arguably the fastest man in the world, ran here today in Rio in the 100-meter sprint. He apparently, I haven't seen the video of this yet because they haven't played it, but apparently he was running and he's so fast that he just kind of started jogging at the end and looking at the competition and still beat them all.
Oh.
So this is a guy who is just insane. Tonight, obviously, it'll be all about Michael Phelps. This is his last, what's expected to be his last Olympic swim because he says he's going to retire after these Olympics. It's the 4x100 relay. Michael Phelps now with 22 gold medals. So if the relay team happens to win the gold medal tonight, he will leave his Olympic career with 23 golds, which there's just nobody who's even come close to touching that. It's just phenomenal. So it'll be an emotional night, I think, watching him swim, and obviously for him to swim. We should note his teammate, rival friend Ryan Lochte says he doesn't believe Phelps is actually going to retire, but only time will tell on that.
Yeah, I thought he said the same thing at the end of the London Games last go-round, that he was retiring, but maybe I was mistaken. I want to ask you, Ben, it looks so beautiful behind you. Have you at least gotten a good meal? What was your favorite highlight so far being out there?
Yeah, so I can tell you, we have a great perch right here. So you're looking at Guanabara Bay here in Rio, and I don't know if you can make the boats out back there, but the sailing regatta is going on, which has been great. It's very close to where we're staying. We've done a couple interviews down there, so we just kind of walked down to the beach, watched the sailboats. Earlier this morning, I did go over to beach volleyball and got to see the Brazilian team take on Spain. And watching the Brazilian fans, on their home court cheer for their team was something everyone should see. They are, let's call them spirited, the Brazilian fans.
Hey, it's home turf. You got to give it to them for that one. Our Ben Tracy in Rio. Ben, thank you so much, Ben.